the positive part about living in your car. If you're a free spirit, if you're single, if you have little family obligations, etc., and if you're in a season of your life where you like to be outdoors, I think that is definitely a key. If minimalism is exciting to you, small spaces make you feel cozy and comfortable, then living in your car is definitely an option. For me, I have no problem with it. I enjoy it. It's a blessing to me. I desire to live the life that I'm currently living. Um, so for some people, though, no, they don't want to, and it's some people are living in their car because of financial hardships. But at the same time, some people are in houses that they don't want to be, whether it's too small or too big or whatever it is. You have to focus on what is important to you, and that is different for everybody. Everybody has their own personal situation, and everyone has to discern what season of life they're in and what they need to do for them. Um, so for to me, I had just got to the point where my dog had passed away. I moved out on my own in my early 20s. I enjoyed having my own home. I threw parties, I entertained, and then I enjoyed just getting stuff to eat. I really had a season of my life where I indulged, and I was really, really overweight. But I enjoyed, picking up food, whatever it is, fast food, whatever it was, picking up food, having a big screen TV, watching sports, just being by myself, having my own time. I enjoyed that, and it was a blessing, and have my dog with me. We sit on the bed, we open the windows, etc. Um, and obviously, if you have a pet, if you have a child, if you have a spouse, those are different things that it's definitely going to be harder for you to live in a car or be mobile, motorhome, whatever it may be, but definitely in a car. If you have a spouse, kid, dog, child, it's harder because you have to worry about others, just not yourself. But that being said, for me, for my journey, for my story, that's all I can share. I can't, tell anybody else what to do for them because, excuse me, only you know what you should do for you, and sometimes we don't fully know, and we have to go back and forth. But after my dog had passed a few years back, um, and I'd matured, I got into my mid to late 30s. I said, the only area of my home that I use is my bathroom, my bedroom, and my kitchen. And even my kitchen, I'm only in there how many hours, maybe 45 minutes to an hour for the whole entire day because you're at work most of the day. I work a full-time job. I have since I was 16, so I am not living out of my car because I don't want to work and I'm trying to live as cheap as possible. Even though living cheaply and saving money is inspiring to me, but it's not because of I don't want to work or I'm not working. I have worked since I basically legally could, and I continue to work and I will work. Obviously, if money was just no object, then um, I don't know if I would work my current job, which is in the corporate world. But even neither here nor there. Um, I was looking at my life and the amount of time after I got out of work, after I was done sleeping. You got to figure, you're at work 8, 10, at least 8 to 10 hours per day for the average person. Then you're commuting or whatever you're doing, even if you're living close. So let's just figure 10 hours a day you're at your job. Okay, so you got 24 hours in a day. So minus 10, you got 14 hours left. Then you got to figure, if you stop at a gym, you go to the grocery store, whatever, just add another hour to that, just running errands. And that's being generous. That's being very generous. So now you're down to 13 hours per day. So then let's subtract the other parts of the day, which would be, let's say, watching TV, entertainment, watching YouTube, looking at your phone, whatever. Let's just give that 2 hours per day. Okay. So now you're down to 11 hours per day. And let's just say the average person sleep for to me, I get about approximately 7 hours per day, average. of sleep. So from 11 minus 7, that's 4 hours. So 4 hours left in the day to do something. And out of those four, for me at this point in life, I like to go outside, I like to walk and listen to my music, go to the gym a little bit just to lift some weights to get my blood flowing. I'm not, super into like trying to be huge or, just trying to stay healthy, and just maintain an active lifestyle and just enjoy life. So again, if you account for all the hours in your day, you only really have a few hours, 2 to 4 hours of the day that, you pretty much do whatever you want. You want to spend it in your house. And if you have a house, those extra 2 to 4 hours that you have just extra time for just you to be in your house, to sit in your sofa, to do whatever, you also have to figure out on average, if you average it over the course of the week, how long does it take for you to clean your house, to maintain your house? How much do you have to vacuum? How much do you have to clean your toilet bowl? When something breaks, the time that you spend to get a contractor in, to wait around for them. Because they're not going to come as soon as you call. You got to wait between hours of 8 to 1, and they'll call you 45 minutes before they come. Maintaining the outside of your house, and even if you had a condo like me, even if you don't maintain it, following up with the association for different things, and I had a good association, but just so much maintenance and upkeep, even for the smallest of condo or townhome or house, tiny house, whatever, it doesn't matter. There is maintenance involved. So of course, even with a car there is, but a car, as far as any type of shelter and mobility, is probably the smallest amount of maintenance that you can have. And for me, again, looking at, for me, from my lifestyle, how much actual time that I spent in my house and utilizing my house, it was just so inefficient. I was paying such a huge amount of my net income into my mortgage and into my, and it is a good investment over the long term. It is a good investment over the long term if you buy, for a reasonable price. If you buy anything for an unreasonable price, even if you get a return, it's going to be minimal, because price does matter. Obviously the crash proved that you can't just keep prices. Nothing in life just keeps going up, up, up. Not to say that you could have a crash every 10 years, because that's not reality either. All I'm saying is price does matter to a certain extent. Okay, and what also matters is the length of time you plan to be in one location. Because I remember when I bought my condo, and I was there in my condo for about 13 and a half years. I said, oh, this is my dream condo, dream community. I'll be here the rest of my life. And as you get older in life, you realize that nothing, you can't say that you'll always want this the rest of your life. Because 1 year, 2 year, 5 year, 10 year, 15 years, things change over time. The seasons of your life change. What you desire changes. What you want out of life changes, and that's good. That's a healthy thing. And so you have to be in a house 5 to 7 years, and then you start to build up equity, and that's maintaining the house over the course of that time, fixing things, improving things, which costs money, which costs time, which cost a bit of your soul. If you think that maintaining and upkeeping a house, even if you like to work with your hands, even if you sub everything out, if you have money, dealing with contractors, the mental, physical, and emotional pain that renovations of homes cost, condos, doesn't matter, it takes a toll on your soul. Don't let anybody tell you different. You try working a full-time job, then coming home working on your house. It can destroy your spirit. It can destroy your family's spirit, your friends, because you have all that mental pressure on your soul to work a full-time job, all those responsibilities, to deal with the loved ones in your life, then to come home and fix a sink or do this and that, or have to walk a dog and fix a sink, and all these different things. All those things take a toll. And so the more you can minimalize the superficial things, or actually I shouldn't even say superficial, because if that's what you desire and you have the capacity to do so, I don't know, the inefficient things in your life, the more you can remove and downsize the inefficient things in your life that no longer serve your long-term interests and goals and no longer inspire you, the more you can minimize the inefficiencies, the more efficient and the more effective and the more free-minded and free-spirited you'll feel, and the happier you'll feel. And that's what it's about, freeing your spirit so you can do the things that inspire you. You free up time that you don't have to take care and manage a house, and you can do other things. You can go to the beach more, and you can go travel more, and you can go do different things, because you're freeing up not only time, you're freeing up money, you're freeing up different things, and you're gaining capacity of your time, you're gaining capacity of your money, you're gaining something. So now all the stuff that you had over here is now back to you, and now you can reallocate that to things that now serve your interest. And So that's part of the reason that to me, living out of your car is definitely doable, and it's inspiring to me. Really, I thank YouTube for that, because, never thought that living in your car would be even something on my radar. But I'm thankful that I saw other people pave the way and willing to share it. And so it works for me. I work a full-time job, I always have. And so it's not about just financial. It is about, making more time, being more efficient, and focusing my energy and my resources away from a burden of a house that it was. And I'm thankful for it, so I want to be careful how I say that. But that season was over, and I needed to have my energy and my resources directed into other things that inspire me and keep me creative and allow me to have the mental encouragement to push forward in life into other things that I want to do. So that's just a little bit of my story of living a nomad life, living out of my Jeep Renegade currently, and maybe a different vehicle at some point. But it's a Jeep Renegade. It's not a motorhome. It's not a Class A. It's not a Class B. It's not a Class C. It's not a travel trailer. It's a Jeep Renegade. You can do it. You can live out of anything if you want, but you have to have the desire. Or obviously, some people are forced in certain situations. But again, some people are forced in certain homes. You can only focus on your own journey, not everybody else's, and people will judge you for it. People look at me crazy, especially people, that people look at you crazy, and you're going to have some arguments with some family members, etc. But never forget, this is what I'm ending on. If you are not bringing harm to anybody else by your decisions, then you have no one to answer to, and you should do you. You should do it if that's what you want to do. So if your family members, your friends, or whatever, if they're judging you, or they're mad at you, or they're mocking you for doing it, but your decision to do that is not directly causing harm to them, fuck them. All right? I mean, I don't understand how somebody else can be mad at you if you're not. I know why it is. Because you challenge the status quo. You challenge them to grow. You challenge, and some people don't have the mental capacity to accept change. And whenever you change in life, whenever you do something different, especially if it's a little bit extreme and a little bit not as society accepted, you shake the earth. I mean, you shake somebody's understanding of everything they know to be true. And that scares a lot of people, because they're in this bubble of, this is what you do, and this is what I'm doing, and if you do something different, it makes me think that maybe what I'm doing isn't right. For those who are insecure, and whoever's going to be upset with you, it's going to be somebody who's insecure and unhappy with their life. Because somebody who is happy with their life and secure with themselves, they don't bust anybody else's chops. They encourage people to do what they want to do. So, do you. As long as you're not bringing harm to anybody else, do what you want to do for you and stay inspired.